Hello Webflow developers and newbies that are just looking to get into the software. This is a video just outlining why you should actually become a Webflow developer. I know it says don't become a Webflow developer, but because of all of the new AI tools and all of the new web developing softwares out there, a lot of people are being very pessimistic in utilizing this tool. What I'm going to do is give you 4 reasons why you should not become a Webflow developer, and then actually debunk these 4 myths by giving you actual factual evidence and experience from my own design agency and why you should start utilizing the tool. Now, some quick answers to this is that if you use Webflow like me, it has given me freedom to travel around the world. I actually fight 6 months of the year Muay Thai. I'm actually in Thailand at the moment, and Webflow has given me the freedom to build websites when I want, how I want, and to have a career that I actually love. So it's working for me. Why can't it work for you? On top of that, Webflow is actually bringing in some months £10,000+ a month. Now, I'm not putting everything into this at the moment, so I can only see this scaling even higher. So that is why Webflow is a great tool, because you can actually utilize it to scale as far as you want to go. Now, if you stay till the end, I'm actually going to tell you the 4 skills that you need to succeed. It's 4 skills that I have utilized to stay ahead of the trend, because there are a lot of Webflow developers at the moment, but not all are created equally. And I'm telling you, there is a lot of high paying jobs, and they are just scanning over all of the Webflow developers at the moment, because I'm coming out on top a lot of the time just because of these 4 skills that if you utilize, you're going to be able to be earning 10,000, if not more. Because I know that there's some developers out there that are earning, 20 to 30,000 per month, and they are multi-millionaires. Hopefully we can get there one day. So point number 1 is there's too much competition. Now, I want to come back with this and actually say there is an abundance of jobs out there. Now, there's a few reasons for that, and the number 1 reason is because Webflow is actually a niche. Now, the reason it is a niche is because it is not only a visual coder, but it's actually more in line with the designing, the creative of us. So I actually started as a brand identity designer, so Webflow is actually a great software for me to move into. Now, the particular type of clients that are looking for Webflow developers are not the type that just want a template-based WordPress site. They're not the clients that we're looking for that are paying £10,000 to £15,000 per website. We're looking for startups that actually want a creative, award-winning website, and that's why Webflow is a niche, is because it actually allows you to utilize code as well as some very free structure to be able to design the most amazing, beautiful sites. So if you're utilizing Webflow to create really creative websites, you are starting off in the right place. Now, if I take you over to my screen, I'm actually going to show you on this link here. If we look up Google Trends, which is here, you can see if we type in Webflow developer and we set it to the past 5 years worldwide, you can actually see that in the past year, the search for Webflow developer is actually it's increasing. It's not decreasing. It's actually going up. Now, if we extend this to the present time, you can actually see better here how this is just an uptrend. Now, if Webflow was a dying software, or if it was too competitive, then this would be going down. So obviously you can use tools like this to keep up to date and actually understand that Webflow isn't a competitive market if you are doing things the right way. Now, on top of that, what we have is good Webflow developers are hard to find. And what I mean by that is I've actually been hiring Webflow developers at the moment. And there's a difference between somebody that just comes with that WordPress ideology, like I said before, where they're just creating template-based websites. If you actually utilize all of the great tools like FinSuite and Timothy Ricks has come out with some great components, you are going to be in the top 1 percentile. And when I'm applying for jobs, actually coming on top of like hundreds of proposals, and I actually see from a recruitment base, I select the best designers dependent on how creative they are and their problem-solving capabilities. So Webflow is not hard to find jobs with, but you need to find the clients that are looking for this particular niche. Now, the other good thing why Webflow is good is because at the same time, it's easy to get into, but it's also quite hard. Now, bear with me on this one. A lot of people are complaining that the learning curve of Webflow is quite significant. Now, this is a good thing, because if you can stick it out to the end, a lot of people are going to drop off and stop using Webflow and move to things like Wix, WordPress, and other template builders. If you actually stick in like me, and it took me probably 2 to 3 years to master the website, you're going to be in the absolute top percentile of Webflow developers, and you're going to be getting them £10,000 to £15,000 websites. Now, the next point is AI will make web developers obsolete, especially Webflow developers. And you probably have seen with Framer and with this new AI implementation in Webflow that there is a possible scare that clients are going to be able to create websites themselves and absolutely just overpass us. Now, my comeback to this is that AI is actually going to empower your web development agency. The reason for this is because all of the tools that are coming out now, I am actually utilizing. I'm using ChatGPT not only to write meta tags, meta descriptions, I'm actually using it to speak to my clients. I'm using it to actually upsell copy to my clients. I'm using Midjourney to create structures for websites. That's speeding up my development process. And the new AI tools that are just coming out, I'm going to implement every single one. So if you stay ahead of the curve, you're going to be absolutely fine, because you're going to be learning these tools before anyone else. Now, I want to bring the most obvious thing to your attention as to why AI will not take your job. Humans are lazy. Now, think about the iPhone. The thing that you're probably watching this, or the laptop that you're watching this on. Those when they came out with all of the apps, everybody thought a lot of jobs were going to be gone. But what do people use these devices for? They don't use them to start businesses. They use them to watch cat videos and silly little things that aren't actually going to be pushing their business forward. It's the same thing with AI. People aren't willing to learn it like we are. So there's still going to be the user case. Even if AI does become an easy implementation of building a website, people still aren't going to be prompting it. Some might, but the majority are still going to be paying others to, and this is the term that's probably going to be called, to prompt the websites. Now, like I said, if you start utilizing AI at the moment, like I am, and you come up with your own prompts, now I actually have some videos on this to come up with blog prompts, to come up with prompts for website designs, you're going to be ahead of the curve yet again. And not only at the moment you're going to be able to offer it as a new service, but I'm pretty sure with the way AI is going, you're going to be able to increase your revenue because you're going to be an expert within AI, and it is the buzzword at the moment. So don't worry about that. Humans are lazy. Be lazy yourself and utilize it to speed up your own process and actually sell it as a service in itself. Now, another big thing that I have realized whilst working with companies is big businesses want human interaction. Now, the reason for this is, number one, they want to hold somebody accountable for if something goes wrong. So if somebody's going to be handing over £15,000, they want that done right. And if you show a human face and you speak to these people, there's a connection there and they know that nothing's going to go wrong. Now, if they either use AI themselves or they're hiring somebody to use AI, they're always going to need that human interaction to create a website that is specific to their business needs. Now, of course, AI is going to get that good that they're going to be able to, somebody's going to be able to put in a prompt and it's going to come up with a website with the highest converting sections and the best possible layout. But still, after that, there's going to need to be some kind of human communication with the CEO of the business, the startup founder, and utilizing the AI to make updates and to tweak the design, because even if AI is going to create the best website, it doesn't mean that the person is going to like that website. So it's hard for an AI to come up with personal emotions in how the project's going to look. But that, as we are great designers, we can actually translate what a human wants based on their emotional responses. Because as a great business owner, what we need to do is actually prompt the client into getting them to understand what they want. A lot of the time when I build websites for clients, they actually don't know what they want or what they need. So for AI to solve their problems, they would need to know what problems they need to be solved. And like I said, that is the job of us as Webflow developers, to prompt the client themselves. And yet again, we can come back to AI and start using it ourselves. So that was point number 2. AI will make developers obsolete, and I do not believe that. I feel like AI is going to empower us and be able to speed up our processes whilst making more money. Point number 3. Webflow won't be the tool of the future. Now, like tools with Framer and Wix upgrading, people are getting quite scared and they're saying that these are better platforms. Now, I would come back and actually say Webflow is just a tool. All of these are just a tool. Now, if you're going to put all of your eggs in one basket, I don't think that's a great idea. But whilst Webflow is the industry leader in a visual coder at the moment, I would say still use it, because even though these new tools are coming out, you're still learning the same framework. You can still utilize this tool to work with your clients, and you're still in the industry. Now, of course, if some tool comes out that is 10 times better than Webflow, that's it. Make a transition. Move over to this new tool called Framer. Me personally, I'm not moving over. I'm going to keep an eye on these tools. I'm going to keep understanding what the pros and cons are. But right at the moment, I don't see Webflow going anywhere. But like everything, there are trends and it will go away. And I say to everyone, don't base your entire business on one tool. Because, for example, Webflow could just evaporate tomorrow. Now, if you built your entire business around that, that's a pretty dumb idea. But as website developers and Webflow specialists, we can branch out into other things. We can utilize brand identities to sell. We can sell SEO. We can sell marketing campaigns. And just because the tool disappears, it doesn't mean that we lose our skills that we have learned over the period of time whilst using Webflow. The other reason why I would say to use Webflow at the moment, even if it is not the tool in the future, it has actually taught me how to code. Now, like I said earlier, it is a more complex tool than most of these that are out there. But the beauty in that is, like I said, you're going to learn the industry best practices, and you're probably going to understand web development a lot better because of how you structure websites within Webflow compared to Wix or Framer, because these softwares are built more for people that just want to jump straight in and build a website. The complexity of Webflow and how do you say it, the way you can use it to do whatever you want is actually its saving grace, in that it allows you to do whatever you want. So you can manipulate it to create the most beautiful sites whatsoever. So I would say leverage Webflow for the moment until the wave stops. But one of the main reasons I don't think the wave is going to stop is because the actual community behind Webflow is so huge. Like, if you're watching this video, you probably know a whole host of other YouTubers that are backing this product. Now, the reason I know Webflow so well is because the amount of YouTube tutorials that you can get, the amount of solutions to problems. I've never come into contact with a problem within Webflow that there hasn't been a community member that has answered it through forums, through YouTube videos, and even Webflow itself has amazing tutorials that come out. Now, for me, when I'm utilizing a tool, using a tool, I ensure that there is a huge community behind it, because you don't want to use a new tool and for yourself to build a big £10,000 website and then all of a sudden, this isn't GDPR compliant. How do we solve that? And then there's no resources whatsoever how to find the solution to that. Like I said, because Webflow's been around for quite a while now, there is a solution to everything, and the creativity within the community is just insane. On top of that, the component database and the templates that you can purchase to build sites quickly is just gigantic. So again, if you're jumping into a newer software, you're not going to have these assets that are going to speed up your design and development process. Again, the community like FinSuite and Timothy Ricks, they have come out with some insane plugins that just absolutely superpower Webflow. Now, if you're going to become a Webflow pro and you start getting into these plugins and supercharging tools that you can utilize, I'm telling you that this software is absolutely insane at the moment. So that is probably the biggest thing, is the Webflow community and how active Webflow is in actually rolling out new additions to their software. Very soon we're going to have the AI prompting tool within Webflow, and I mean, it's like Webflow's pumping out a new fix or a new system every other week. So that's another big thing to look out for when utilizing a tool, is that the actual company behind it are listening to the community and improving their product, which I just do not see the level of consistency with any other product. So point number 4, you won't get rich as a Webflow developer. Now, this I can say from personal experience that Webflow has actually set me free. I'll tell you a little story. I used to be a painter working up in London, doing the death march every day on the London Underground. I was getting paid sometimes £500 a week, up to £1,000 a week. And when you're living in London, that does not go far. Now with Webflow, it allows me to actually live in Thailand. I can work at a cafe. I can work with wherever I want. And that is absolutely insane to me. So regardless if I'm making a lot of money, the freedom it gives me is insane. But if I take you over to my screen again, I'll actually show you the average salary that is portrayed on Google. And I can actually say from my own experience, I'm looking to make £100,000 this year. And I actually have taken 3 months off. So it's absolutely insane what this software has allowed me to do. So if we actually look at the average salary based in America, you can see the top earners are earning $90,000 per year. So I must be a top earner, thank God. But I'm telling you, I'm not even putting that much work in. Of course, I'm being smart with the projects that I choose, but I'm telling you, if you work harder than me, you're going to make a lot more money. Let's look at the average, $64,000. So I don't know how that is an average wage. Back in England, in London, I was probably earning, let's say, $25,000, and that was for ridiculous hours every day, 6 days a week, and I'd be working 8 to 10 hours. So if you want to live happy and have an all right life, I think $65,000 per year, a 31 average wage is pretty good. Now, like I said, the hourly wage, I actually see these vary. I'd say a low point would be around $45. I'd say a mid-tier would be $65, and then an elite tier Webflower can earn upwards of $100 an hour. Now, imagine that you can basically work a couple hours a day and earn what I used to earn in a week. That is insane. The freedom that this tool gives you is just absolutely insane. So that's a load of bull. Webflow will make you rich, but obviously it's dependent on how much time and effort you want to put into it. So I can actually say from experience that this tool is absolutely insane. And like I said, I would say a top website you can sell for $10,000, and you can make that within, you could speed it up and make it within a month. So it depends how much you want to work. So let's get back to the top 4 skills I think you need to basically overcome all of these points. And just to go over again, the points are: there's too much competition. No, there's not. We're in a niche. It's great. AI will make Webflow developers obsolete. No, it won't, because it's actually going to empower us if we utilize the AIs to make our software better. Number 3, Webflow won't be the tool of the future. This doesn't matter, because as great web design agencies or companies, we are going to stay ahead and not put all of our eggs in one basket. And anyway, I do think Webflow is going to be the tool of the future with the way they are going. And you can see by the Google trends, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. Number 4, Webflow won't make you rich. Okay, I might not be rich, but I am living a happy life. And if you look at the other YouTubers that are on here, they definitely are. I forget what his name is, but there's a YouTuber that is very active and he is making millions per year. And it is absolutely as far as you want to scale. So how do we overcome all of these? Here are the top 4 points that are going to overcome this. Number 1, very important, communication and sales skills. Now, I know you're designers and developers, but the number 1 thing that is going to get you your clients is the way you communicate yourself to these clients, because you can't just design websites. You need to find these clients, get them on call like I am speaking to you right now, express how you're going to help them. So develop your communication and listen. When I first started out, I used to get anxious. I used to do meditation before every single meeting because I'd be so anxious. Now, 3 years later, I actually enjoy the calls. I enjoy hearing people talk about their business, and I enjoy how I'm going to help them make money, because ultimately that's what we're doing. We are servicing people to become free themselves. So start enjoying the communication and start understanding how to sell yourself to these clients. That's going to make you irreplaceable as a designer or developer. Now, number 2 skill that you're going to need is a willingness to adapt to new tools and, well, specifically using AI tools. Like I said earlier on, if you're just going to stick with one tool in any business, if you're going to sell cars and you sell Saabs, and for some reason, the Saab's a bad example, it's a car you get back in England. Let's say you sell BMWs, but within your area, people have a trend and they stop buying BMWs and they start buying Mercedes. Now, that's stupid because you put all of your eggs in one basket. Same with us. We want to ensure that we are continually adapting our process, speeding up our process, seeing if we can add new processes to our design and development structure, and just ensuring that we're keeping a finger on the heartbeat of all the new tools like this framer and all of the rest of them. Just like me, I every week implement a information hour where I'll go through books, I'll look through podcasts, I'll look through newsletters, everything that is going to keep me up to date. So make sure that you sign up to all of the latest resources so that you're the first adopter of the tools. Now, number 3 is start a community. The reason why you want to start a community, and it's just like me, I'm starting a community with you guys. Number 1, it's great. It inspires you to keep on pushing because ultimately money isn't the ultimate factor. I thought it was at the start. I thought just earning money was going to be the ultimate motivator for me, but it's when I earned my first £10,000 in a month, which was insane because that would take me 4 months to earn, things started losing its soul. So this is why I started the YouTube channel, because ultimately I want to help other people to get where I am, and the community is going to inspire you to keep on pushing. Another thing is the community is actually going to teach you and keep you ahead of new skills and techniques. The community is also going to act as a passive marketing tool. And of course, the ultimate thing is to start earning passive income. So your community is going to allow other people to find you, and you can sell assets, you can sell courses, and then people that are speaking about you, obviously it's just going to grow, and ultimately you're not going to have to look for jobs anymore because your clients are going to find you. So the last skill that you are going to need to have is perseverance. Oh my good God, that is the most important. I remember when I first started Webflow and I thought I was never going to be able to utilize this. I thought I was never going to find a client. I found my first client I built my first website for free for my sister. The second one was £500 and it took me almost a month. I never thought I would get to the stage of earning £10,000 per website, honestly. And my first big website, which was £5,000, took me, I think it was a year and a half. And honestly, you get to the point where you think that this isn't going to work out. And just as you get to the top of that hill, make sure you push that one little bit further. I do believe that life likes to test you, and life is going to test you to see if you really want this freedom. So just keep on going. And I would say if you're a fast learner, you're going to learn this, be a pro within 1 year. I've actually got a developer that I am teaching at the moment with a course that I will be releasing soon. I'm using this course for him. He has become almost better than me within 6 months, and I am utilizing him to build websites. So you can honestly, it's up to you how fast you want to learn this software. But finding clients, again, long as it's going to take, like I said, I don't work for 6 months of the year because I like to fight Muay Thai and do fight camps. It took me a year to find my first client and actually get some good money. So there they are. The 4 key skills I think that you need: communication, adaptation, build a community, and perseverance. I know these sound cheesy, but they really aren't. It's a bit of motivation towards you. This is something that I remind myself all the time, and having that goal in mind of ultimately being financially free for the rest of my life. And you can definitely do this yourselves. It is highly possible with this tool, Webflow, and I hope that you do use it. Now, if you do want to learn more and you want to keep up to date and actually be motivated by my bull crap, you can join the Facebook group, which is linked below. The Facebook group is called the Webflow Pro Group. It is very important to me. It's where I release all of my Patreon. Well, it's not even Patreon because I don't get anybody to pay for it. It's all private information and techniques that I don't release on YouTube. It's also going going to be in the future where I release my course, which I will be giving out for free to early adopters. And obviously it's a community where you can ask questions and solve problems. I'm always active there, so if you have any problems with Webflow, you can count me as your free support guide. So if you want to get rich with Webflow, if you want to be free with Webflow, join the group and leave a like below, please, because it really does help. And obviously subscribe, because that's going to help me as well. Take it easy, guys, and I hope to speak to you soon.